Hey, you're back. This is part two of my effort to read aloud my Scary Tales book, Goodnight, Zombie. Okay? The first video was chapters 1 and 2. We'll see where we get with this. I'll either be able to read 2 more chapters or 3, depending how much blather I throw in. So let's get to it. If you recall, our 3 main characters, Esme, Carter, and what's his name? Arnold, are trapped inside the school. They find a mysterious staircase where there had never been a staircase before, and they go down it because they hear some noises. They're looking for the night janitor. Did you notice I comb my hair? It's the little things, right? You guys are, I see a lot of you guys are in your pajamas, so you really don't have any say. Chapter 3, lights flicker and die. The stairs led to a metal-plated door. Behind it, Esme heard what she imagined to be the shuffling of boots, the jingling of keys, and a man sitting heavily in a chair. Carter knocked twice and, receiving no reply, pushed the door open. An ancient man sat in the corner of the room at a gray metal desk. He stared at his visitors through red-rimmed eyes. His skin was grayish yellow, and his sunken, narrow cheeks gave off a skeletal appearance. Thin hair grew from his otherwise bare skull in wisps, like odd tufts of white grass. He wore blue working man's trousers and a red flannel shirt. He looked half dead, and Esme stifled a gasp at the sight of him. Want to see his picture? Here we go. There he is. Okay. A little creepy. The ancient man did not appear happy to see 3 students appear in his small, cramped office. He held a glass jar in one hand and a fork in the other. He stabbed at a blood-red cube of meat and pushed it past his lips. He never moved his eyes from the uninvited guests. Venison, he spat with a gruff voice. He speared another cube of meat and held it before his face. Deer meat. Kill it and butcher it myself. Care for a taste? No one accepted his offer. Didn't think so. He chomped on the bloody flesh. A trickle of blood dribbled down his chin. Are you the guy who locked us in? Carter finally spoke up. The ancient man leaned back in his chair, reached to his belt and splashed an enormous key ring on the desk. There had to be 50 keys of every size and shape. Are you going to tell us which one? Carter asked. The ancient man wiped the grease from his lips with the back of a sleeve. No, he replied. Excuse me? Esme asked. You don't want to go out there, the night janitor said. Not tonight, no. He rose painfully and shuffled toward the heavy door, which he shut behind them with a firm hand. Arnold grew alarmed. Ha! Yeah, well, I'm not sure you understand, Mr. Klump, the old man said. Mr. Klump, Arnold repeated. He helplessly pointed a thumb toward the ceiling. We accidentally got locked in the school, see, and the old man didn't seem to be listening. He rubbed a large hand to his stubbled chin noted the time on his wristwatch, and closed his eyes, as if waiting for something to pass. He counted in a dry whisper, 3, 2, 1. The lights flickered, and the room went dark. Chapter 4. The Mysterious Mr. Vanderklump. Esme shuddered. Carter reached for her arm, pulling her near. Arnold started muttering, yo, guys, I'm not into being here right now with this super freaky old guy. And silence! Vanderklump hushed them. Wait for it. In the next moment, a battered generator kicked on. It clanged noisily in the corner until achieving a steady drone. Then the lights came back on, though dimmer than before. My backup generator, Vanderklump smiled. He pulled his frail body against the desk, dabbed a handkerchief to his mouth, and coughed into it. It left red dots of blood. Please, I have to get home, Esme said. Not tonight, Vanderklump replied darkly. It's too dangerous. The kids exchanged worried glances. The night janitor continued, You will wait until morning light. It is your only hope. Okay, Arnold replied. He looked to Esme or Carter replied. He looked to Esme and Arnold gave a slight nod. Then he moved fast. Carter snatched the keys off the desk. He bounced on his toes, ready for action. Listen, we are out of here. I'm borrowing your keys and we're going home. The ancient man did not move. Unwise, he stated. There was a trace of sorrow in his eyes. They already gather outside. Come on, guys, I'm not listening to this guy, Carter ordered. Following Carter's lead, they flew up the stairs, feet barely touching the ground. The old man did not try to stop them. The three students had nearly reached the library when Arnold slowed to a halt. Hold on, I've got to catch my breath, he said. Besides, I left my pack in there. Arnold went into the library for his pack, while Esme sagged to the floor. Carter was still energized. He paced the hallway, pumping his fist. What a fruitcake, he shouted. Can you believe that guy? Crazy as a loon. And creepy, too. I feel like I've seen him before, Esme said. From school? No, that's not it. Esme tried to recall where she'd seen Vanderklump's face before. She drew a blank, as if her memory had been wiped clean. Yeah, I know what you mean, Carter said. He seemed familiar to me, too. He rattled the heavy set of keys. One of these babies is going to get us out of here, so we might as well get started. I don't want to be in here in case Vanderklump starts creeping around. Guys? Arnold called from the library. You better come see this. Now. We'll go with one more. Chapter 5. Walkers in the Mist. It's a quicker one, I think. Yeah, short. What? Carter snapped, annoyed. We don't have time to mess around. I'm serious, Arnold said. There was urgency in his voice. And fear. Arnold stood by a window at the far end of the library, from which vantage point he could observe the grounds behind the school through the mist. He could see the baseball diamond and basketball courts, the swing set and monkey bars, the jungle gym that looked like an old pirate ship. The wind was still, not a leaf stirred. High above, a full moon appeared like a cloudy eye that stared, unblinking, through the mist. I wanted to check outside, Arnold told him, after what that old guy said about, it being dangerous. Yeah, so? Carter asked. Take a look, Arnold said. Esme gazed out the window. It's hard to see anything. There! Carter put a hand on Esme's back and pointed with his free hand. As Esme's eyes adjusted to the darkness, she began to see shapes moving across the grounds, men and women, dressed in clothing from olden times, and others in tattered rags, all drifting aimlessly through the school playground. I'll show you a picture here. There's not a ton of pictures in this book, but they're all amazing. I wish I could draw like that. A murder of crows flapped and bickered near the figures, landing on heels and heads and shoulders. None of the dark shapes seemed to mind. Their clothes seemed so old-fashioned, Esme said, like they dressed up for a fancy party or dance or a funeral, Carter said. Arnold hesitated, uncertain. Those people don't seem normal. His breath smelled like peppermint gum. He cracked the gum loudly and chewed. Nope, Carter agreed. Could this be real? Esme saw, or thought she saw, through the fog, a crow peck at the face of one of the figures. Again and again, the black scavenger plucked at the man's eyes. Yet he shuffled along, as if he were just a sad, pathetic scarecrow in a cornfield. Couldn't even scare away a crow. That's it. Part 2 for now. I'll come back with another installment at a later date. Thank you very much for coming along. Bye-bye.